Alright, in this short video I'm going to show you how you can post an assignment. So I'm in my fake classroom right now, and what you'll notice is off to the right hand side is a plus button. If you put your mouse over that button, you'll notice that a couple of things come up. You can create an announcement, you can create an assignment, you can create a question, or you could reuse a post. So what we're doing in this video is simply creating an assignment. So I click on create an assignment. In this box I want to point out a couple of things to you. You've got the for, so which class is this assignment going to go into? That you can post a number of different classes all at once. So if you click on this, you can click on those and post it to more than one classroom. You've got the title. I would keep this title short. Just describe specifically, in the shortest way that you can, what the assignment is. So often when I do, let's say, like a homework I write in 8.1. That's the chapter. And then I might say something below as to what it is. So below the actual name of the assignment are the instructions. And here's where you're actually going to say what it is that you want students to do. So you might say, read the chapter 8, section 1, and answer questions in the form. All right, then you set a due date. So the due date would be, let's say, automatically what will happen is that Google Classroom will go push to the next class, to the next day. So obviously we work in an A-day, B-day schedule, so it doesn't totally help us, but it does it's good to know that it does that. And it goes right to the 15th. That would be the B-day for this class. And I could put a time in. If I put 11:59 p.m., that means it's going to happen at the very end of the day. If you want it to be 7:30, you can do that too. Sometimes I do that because I figure if you're in school, you should have your homework done already. Or you can make it in the middle of the day if you choose. Right, PM. Whichever you want, I'm going to keep it as PM. And then we have topics. So the topic will make it easy for students to search for a particular item afterwards. And so what I typically do is I do it for the unit, or for a homework assignment, I actually create a new topic. You can do that on the fly. And then after that, you've got a number of different things here. You have this one, little paperclip, which is where you could insert a file that's not in your Google Drive folder, but also it will bring up your Google Drive, but you can do it from there as well. I'll show you what I mean by that. You could select files from the computer, click on this. It will open up another box. You find the file that you're looking for and upload it that way. Or you could take the file from somewhere and then drag it into this section. And then from here, you can also go to your recent Google files, Google Drive files, or My Drive, or anything that has become starred. Another way to do that would be to click on this triangle, which would take you to the same exact place. You would find the file that you're looking for, click on it, add it. So this one was 8.2, I think, or something like that. Oh, it's actually 8.1, but you get the basic gist of it. I could put a YouTube link in here. I do the by URL. In other words, I would find the YouTube link that I wanted. Let's say it was this file right here. All right, folks, this is a quick video. I copied that. I put it here. It will paste. I click add. It will go there. Or I could search for it this way. Make a graded quiz. And then I could find different files that might be appropriate. I can preview from here just to confirm that it's the right file.
Hi, I'm going to show you how to...
Okay. And then I would just click on add, and it would add that way. The other thing I could do is I could put a link in here, which means that I could put a link to a particular website or something else that has a link. I can share a folder. Anything that has a link can go in here, and you just type in the link, or more likely you're going to paste that link. That's another method by which to get things posted. And then just go back over here. I have the ability to put in a document. The other thing was a form, but a document, when you post in a document, it's a little bit different. This is I'm just going to pick a random document here, and then we'll pick this one. But you can go into your My Drive and search for things. I've noticed that in order to find things more quickly, I tend to like to have things organized into folders, and those folders, I know where they are in terms of their the fact that they're alphabetized. So, often what I'm doing is I'm going to my particular course, then I'm going to the unit, like this is my workflow, and then I find the unit that is in question. We're in the Civil War right now, and I pick an assignment. This is Civil War battles, and I can add that. Add. That gets added here, and I have 3 different options now for files that aren't a file that I took off my computer, isn't a file that's like a form, isn't a YouTube, or isn't a link of some kind to some website. I now have the ability to do with documents where things can be edited to do 3 things. One, where only thing that students can do is view that file. That means they can't comment or edit the file at all. That's useful if you just want students to see the assignment and you don't want them to make any alterations to it. The other option is to have it so students can edit the file. What that means is that every single person in that classroom has the ability to edit the file. Honestly, it's a preferable method if you want to really, make powerful assignments in Google Classroom. Allowing students to collaborate and work together is a very powerful tool. But if you wanted to hand out and distribute the assignment to them individually, you can make a copy for each student. And what that does is it makes a copy for each student. So that means at the point that you actually distribute that assignment, that's the version of that particular document that they get. If you go back and you happen to make changes to the Civil War battles, it doesn't automatically go to all of those kids that got distributed that file. You have to do it before, make any changes that you need to that document before you hand it out. I didn't realize that at one point, and I ran into that as an issue. So just make sure that it's sort of like going to the copy machine and making copies of the file. It's only the version of the file that you made copies of. Okay. So every student gets their own individual copy. Now sometimes I do this when I want students to work in a group. It's a simple way for me to share the document with every single person so they all get like a unique one, and then when they work in groups they can just pick one of the documents and share it with each other and hand that one in. When you create an assignment, you also have the option of doing a couple things. You can schedule that assignment, which would be for a specific time in the day, or you could just choose to draft it. The reason for scheduling, I guess, would be like sometimes when you post something on Classroom, it is not always something you want to post right away, but it's like you're working on something and it's for like the next day, and now students see that if you post it right away, they'll start working on the assignment. So it's probably better in some cases for you to schedule that, and you could do it at different times of the day. That feature for me is okay. It doesn't always work the way I want it to. Another way that you can do it is you could save it as a draft, so that way you could quickly post it. So if you save it as a draft, you would click on Save as Draft. I'll walk you through that. But first I'm just going to assign this, just so you get a sense of what that looks like when it's done. Click on Assign. And notice that I was able to put in multiple documents in there. I could put in multiple links, multiple documents, all kinds of things in there. And that's what it looks like in the end. Now, when you actually want to look at this assignment later, if you click on this, it will open up your version of that document. And it probably will be the most updated version of that document, not necessarily the document that they have. If you want to see what they're working on while they're working on it, you need to click on the actual title of the assignment, okay? And you will see all of their documents here. Now, you don't see that now, but you will later. If you click on this folder, it will take you to the folder where all of those files for that particular assignment will live. There's nothing in here yet. I don't have any students, but if I did, it would create all of those documents right there. So that's how you make an assignment. Now, I wanted to show you one more thing. When you actually create an announcement, when you actually create an assignment, we'll call it 8.1 again. We'll give no, we don't need any instructions here. I'll post a random document. We'll go with, by the way, notice how it creates a template. So that means that next year, if you want to see what the original version of that file was, you can look right there and use that again. But I'll click on Add. I'll make it so every student can get a copy. And I'll show you what Save as a Draft looks like. So if I click Save as a Draft, it will appear here. So that means that later on in the day, when you want to have students see that assignment, you can go here, click on 8.1, and you can assign. It's a way of kind of preloading what you're going to want to have in classroom before the class actually starts. And then as soon as you get into class, you go to your save posts and you just post it at the time that's appropriate. It's a way to kind of schedule these assignments, because students have their phones in their pockets, and if they have the actual app, which I really recommend students get on their phones, they'll find that they'll get these notifications, and they might start wondering, wait, is that due now? Do I need to work on it immediately? And they don't. You only want them to work on it in class. So that's just a way to kind of work around that issue. There are ways to schedule an assignment, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll just edit this one, edit this document. Oh, no, I can't do it that way, sorry. Create an assignment, call it 8.1 again. I'll leave no instructions, no due date, just to make this simple and fast. I'll click on the same file. I'll add that one. And I'll show you what schedule looks like. Okay, so I can schedule it, and they automatically go to the next day, because today is the 13th and tomorrow is the 14th. So they kind of figure that what you're doing today is probably for tomorrow. Just know that that's the default. And then you can schedule a time. And they just picked, I think they just pick 8 a.m. and randomly. So you could hit schedule, and that means that tomorrow at 8 a.m. it will post. Okay, so that's how you do that.